this has been a recurring thing in boxing for a few years now. I wanted to get Ludo to react to this. Mosey, I'll ask you to chime in as well. But for whatever reason, PE teachers, physical education teachers, I would just say teachers, like the teacher word is kind of being used almost as a slur, for lack of a better word. I remember back in the day, like I'd hear coaches saying, oh, you know what we need in boxing is more teachers coaching, you know. We have too many coaches. We don't have enough teachers. Now, apparently, being a PE teacher is a bad thing. Look, all three of us are teachers, right? My chosen field of specialism right now is physical education, as is Ludo's. Years ago, we saw Shane McGuigan responding to criticisms that he was just a PE teacher. We saw Chris Eubank, or more to the point, his father, actually. I shouldn't say Chris, because it was actually Chris Eubank Sr. Who made the comments again about PE teachers. And most recently, it was Caleb Plant in an appearance on The Breakfast Club here in New York City. Ludo, I'm going to let you have a look. Smallsy, you as well. Have a look, have a listen to Caleb Plant. Let's go.
A fight. Is that important to you?
It's not really. It's important to me to stick to the game plan. You know, it's important to me to listen to my coaches. And, you know, I got, you know, today's boxing is filled with a lot of PE teachers, you know, but I have real boxing teachers and people who study the game know the game.
PE teachers?
Yeah, PE teachers,
what was
trainers,
that stand for?
you know, people with the whistle and a stopwatch, but they don't teach boxing.
Right.
You know, but I have that. My dad, Brett, and I trust them. You know, that's why they're in that position.
So there you go, Ludo. You got a lot of PE teachers, guys. Got a lot of people with whistles and stopwatches. Interesting to me, just to expand before you go. His trainer, his coach, isn't a teacher, obviously, but also was never even an amateur, let alone professional boxer. 0 fights, 0 wins, 0 losses, 0 draws. So I don't know. I'm a little confused here. I'm obviously talking about Breadman Edwards. Ludo, you go for it.
I'm a little confused too. You teach boxing, unless I'm confused. I teach boxing, right? I'm a PE teacher. That's my day job. Then I teach boxing. So coaching is good, but what is it limited to? Yeah, do this, throw a jab, throw this. Can you teach how to throw a jab? Can you spend hours showing the foot placement and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat? The whistle and the stopwatch. I use a whistle, but not in the boxing gym. I don't use a stopwatch. And the way I teach PE, whichever unit I'm on, is the same way I teach boxing. I take time to break down the movement. So I believe it doesn't come from him. I believe he just watched videos of Chris, what's his name again?
Chris Eubank Sr.
Chris Eubank Sr. And he's just repeating. It doesn't. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's infuriating because, to be honest, as PE teachers, we're not average. And I have to say, being in the profession, that you see some other PE teachers. I don't, to use a trendy word, I don't identify as one of them, right? But it's like saying, let me give you an example. Oh, we don't have real boxers, we have nutritionists, because Chris Algieri is a nutritionist by profession on the side. Or, you know, some fighters do have a day job because they're not all the way to the top.
Firemen, some are do all
some
kinds of
are
things.
Construction workers. Oh, we don't have
Marco Antonio Barrera is a goddamn lawyer.
Yeah. Oh, we have too many lawyers. So what? You're gonna talk bad about lawyers? And what if he becomes a boxing coach? Oh, we have too many lawyers, not enough.
I think a couple of senators actually as well.
Yeah, senators. Yeah, exactly. My issue too, though, honestly, is that the entry point to being a boxing coach is much lower. The bar is much lower than being, and I'm a boxing coach, New York State Athletic Commission, USA Boxing on the amateur level. The entry point is much lower than becoming a teacher. I mean, to be a teacher, we needed to pass all kind of state tests, do practice teaching that was evaluated and monitored by like a major university. Then once we graduated, we had to do, like I said, all kind of exams. We had to get a master's degree to get a professional license here in New York. The idea that somehow, you know, that's to be ridiculed, whether or not you liked your PE teacher. I mean, your PE teacher was likely more trained than the majority of these boxing coaches that we even see on television. Smalls, you wanted to interject, go for it.
I mean, all I'd say is I think Caleb's just mixing up his words here a little bit. I think this idea that you often see in sitcoms and things, this idea that a teacher, you know, a PE teacher is just someone with a stopwatch saying run. It's just like a really kind of reductive idea of what the job is. It's like as if the only job that you know, the only thing a policeman does is sit around and eat donuts, or the only thing that you know, a fireman does is slide down the pole to the fire truck. You know, it's like a very reductive idea of being a teacher. So, Caleb, let's have a chat. Let's discuss assessment. Let's discuss formative assessment. Let's discuss you know, setting up a classroom environment. Let's discuss writing a curriculum. You know, let's discuss the ways that you actually engage students in learning. There's so much more behind the scenes, and I'm sure maybe Caleb's had a couple of bad teachers. I'm sure he had a lot of really good teachers as well when he's at school, and there's a lot of work that goes into making that magic happen. So yeah, people please, teachers are more than you know, just the little bit that gets shown on TV. There's a lot that
like the English teacher on TV that hands out an assignment and then just sits at his desk and drinks coffee and reads the newspaper like that.
Exactly.
That's not how it actually happens in real life.
Now I gotta add something. Well, Caleb Plant, let's have a sit down with your coach, who, as you mentioned, Maestro, never had a fight ever in his life, and let's have him explain to you, how do you react when you get hit and get dropped? How's he going to explain that? I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there. I've been dropped.
There. He was there against Canelo, too. I mean, this is the guy who...
Yeah.
And Benavidez. Send him in over... Actually, it wasn't with Canelo, but definitely Benavidez. Send him in over and over again.
Yeah, so you have a fighter who you train, who's at top level, but you never had a fight yourself. Also, let's have a sit down with your coach and let him explain to us the energy systems of the body, the biomechanics of a movement and a punch. Let's have your coach, who never had a fight in a sanctioned fight in a boxing ring in his life, explain to us why you have to do sprints, let's say on Saturday morning, what energy system it triggers, what is the body reaction, let's have your coach explain to the three PE teachers here what happens to the body when you go into a high intensity burst for more than 10 seconds, what happened to your liver, what's being extracted from your liver and why it runs out and what takes over after it runs out. Let's talk about all this, because guess what? As a PE teacher who's very dedicated to the profession and also very dedicated to boxing and fought in boxing and fought in various styles of kickboxing, had wins, had losses, has been dropped, I can tell you how to react when you get dropped. I know how it feels, and I can tell you how to use your body. And I can tell you what type of, I can even tell you what type of conditioning. Oh, strength and conditioning coaches. No, I can do all of it. You can't. He can't.
Well, there you go. And here's the thing. I actually like Caleb Plant. I met him. You know, at the beginning, before I met him, a lot of my perceptions of him were based on interviews and video clips where he was being very confrontational with people. But I met him. I met his wife. Very nice people. He's a really nice guy. So it was all the more disappointing when I heard him again. And as PE teachers, Smallsy, I'm sure you get a little bit less than this, although maybe you get it from the STEM teachers sometimes. There is like this hierarchy in schools of what subjects matter, what subjects are respected, what subjects matter a little bit less. And here in the US, it's not really like Australia or like England where I used to live, or even Canada where I used to live, or other countries I used to live where PE as a subject is respected. It's really dropping in respect a lot in the United States. So there you have it.